Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. We are back for another review, and this time it is the Demoniacal Fit Martialist Forever Base Goku 3.0 figure. Now, a lot of people have been waiting for this thing for a long time. This was announced basically at the beginning of this year, literally January. We got an update, I think in January or February, and then all communication just kind of slowly ceased to exist. You know, we had the whole drama with them being dropped from Toy Arena, then the drama with, you know, them potentially stealing somebody's designs and all that stuff. So yeah, we've finally come to have the figure in hand. And I gotta say, I mean, first impressions, the thing is good. You know, I have to give Demoniacal Fit their credit. And of course I always will. They make great figures. It's just they don't communicate to the people that they need to, like your consumers, the people that you work with on these, with the real retailers. You need to communicate. You can't just go dead silent. It disrupts business, and it, you know, hinders your trust, because then you don't really know what's coming. But at the end of the day, they finally delivered it, and it's time to, you know, review it. So first things first, just overall designs, right? I do want to talk about this. This is the first time I've seen one of these boxes be like this small. It's the first time I've ever seen a Demoniacal Fit box that small. And I saw people talking about the numbers. Pretty sure that a lot of people have duplicate numbers. If you can see there, mine also has 1. So I think it's just a generic number there. So don't be alarmed if you feel like you got number 1. Everybody got number 1, I think. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people were saying the thing looked like a model kit, and the faces did not look that good at first. But of course, over time, it looked like maybe they cleaned it up a little bit, or maybe it was the bad lighting. I don't know, but it looks better. Of course, now we got the final product. Hair, questionable. I'm not really too into it. It is what it is, though. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it looks good altogether. And I've seen people talking about, like, on the back of the hair, that it looks like it's glued on pieces and spikes and stuff like that. So everybody's gonna have their own critiques about it. At the end of the day, it was a little bit of a, you know, gotta throw some money out there to get it, but a lot of people are gonna probably use it for head swaps anyways. And that's usually when I'm getting these extra bodies too. So it's not really a problem for me, but I do admire the faceplates really, really well, except for like the really happy expression, which we'll get into in a little bit. But it does overall just look nice. Of course, they went with the darker orange. The articulation, more or less the same as like Superhero Gohan, Krillin, etc. But yeah, let's get straight into looking at the accessories and then get into the articulation. And then we'll get into a little special segment showing some head swaps. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So one thing to note, they did include a whole stand with, you know, the claw, the base, all of that stuff. Not the first time that they've done that, but instead of including an accessory piece, this is what they decided to give you, which I'm sure some people appreciate, because some people just don't, you know where to get stands, or don't, you know, want to go buy a whole pack of stands. You know, and getting a stand with the figure at the price that it is, pretty good, right? And of course, that's kind of a signature for Demoniacal Fit, giving you, you know, either an aura, blast, whatever, for all a good price with the figure, including what else it gets. So gotta give credit where credit's due. All right, so out the box, you are getting that stern expression. Here is the gritting teeth expression. Again, the prints look pretty good, actually, all things considered. Here's the yelling expression. I will say a couple of the faceplates feel a little warped because they don't fully fit into the, the pegs for the peg holes. I don't know if that's just a me problem or if that's general, but yeah, feels a little bit off. Let me see if I can show it. Yeah, either that's just how it is or what, but one side fully in, the other side not going in. So just something to keep in mind of, but it does look okay relatively. With the bang piece on, can't really notice it that much. Here's the smirk expression, and looking at it now, just again, I mean, the bang covers that up well. Maybe that's just intended, I don't know, but weird to have one peg kind of exposed like that and the other not. And last but not least, the very happy expression, I guess cheerful as well. I believe, the earlier pictures we saw, the eyes were more spread apart, similar to the Saiyan raised under the Goku reissue. And maybe they fixed it a little bit. It does look a lot better in hand than it did in those photos. And again, that's kind of a thing. Some things just look better in hand. Photos don't always do things justice, at least when it's not a nice professional photo. Sometimes the crappy photos don't help. But yeah, I mean, it looks okay in hand. And before we go, actually, I don't have the GT Goku that they did, but that also had a similar faceplate, and I think that one also looked a little off. So this one definitely is kind of a better step up for them, I would say. All right, out the box, you're getting those 2 fist hands. You also get a set of open palm hands, per usual. Just to point out, so I was hearing about this issue when it initially came out, and I hadn't experienced it just until I actually started recording. So the hand peg has a possibility to come out. It's not guaranteed, but if you do tug on it hard enough, it might. So just be wary of that. You can take the hand peg out and put it back in. Not too hard, but can't guarantee that it's going to stay in there 100% of the time anymore. Here we have the fighting stance hands. Here we have the set of key blast hands, another kind of open palm hands as well. And I got the instant transmission hand. I didn't get one for his left hand, unfortunately. They gave me 2 of the same hand. Now, it's a good thing that I have, extras from those Kong Studios bodies and whatnot, so not really too pressed about that, but let me know if that happened to you. And lastly, we have the pointing thumb hand, and you know what this is synonymous for. He's about to KO. All right, well, that pretty much brings us to the end of the accessories. There's not too much in there. Again, unfortunate that they gave me 2 of the same hand. I don't know if that's common or not. I didn't really hear about that issue, so it must just be a mistake. I'm not gonna make a big deal of it. But as for articulation, it's gonna be mostly the same from what you've already seen other figures have. Of course, you get your 360 there if you want to. And then you can do the swivel, up and down, up, and it is on a double ball peg. We'll get into, like I said, some of the hair swaps and whatnot later after the articulation. Here we go with the arms. Pretty good. Get into a T-pose. They did make a post talking about, like, if you see gappage, how to fix that. I mean, for me, it's just kind of putting it up like that with the drop down, and it's fixed for the most part. You got your bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then you do have wrist swivel here. Do be careful about this wristband. Comes off way too easily, so that's probably a reason why the hand peg is actually coming off super frequently, is just because this is not set in there. And I guess it's possible that they're doing what Tamashii was doing with their LSSJ Goku, but I don't think the effect works as well if the actual, wristband is falling off like that. So, moving into the torso. That is about as far down as you can go without the crotch. And doesn't feel like you can really go back at all. Yeah, not really. And of course, if you want to use the crotch, and then as for the legs, full extend up 90 degrees and then some. And let's see if I catch it. Yeah. Okay, so you see that this gets caught right there consistently. Might just be raised up a little too much, but you just push it back in and it goes, you know, as normal. I believe it happens on this leg for me too. Yeah, not sure if that's a common issue for other people, but it happens all the time on this Goku for me. Not a, you know, issue when it comes to articulating, but just something to be mindful if you're like heavy-handed. You don't want to break the leg. As for the ankles, they are a little bit better than Kong's. You can get a little bit better range there. They're not super obstructed, but I, again, don't know why they block it off at the bottom there. It's like, you don't do it here, so why would you do it there? You know, at that point, you're just self-limiting. Got your toe hinge, and there's not really any good articulation going up and down. I would say it's just kind of standard. Maybe it's just tight, I don't know, but it's definitely not anything super crazy. Now, the interesting thing everybody probably is buying this figure for, head swaps. So I'm gonna grab a couple of heads. We'll grab LSSJ Goku so you can see that on camera, and then we'll do some comparisons and call it a day. All right, so first things first, we have the new LSSJ Goku, we have the base Demoniacal Fit Goku. These heads are interchangeable to some degree. Me, I didn't have to do anything crazy modifications to put the DF hair on this body. However, I will say it took the whole neck out, so it is a pretty strong fit. If you don't want that, I recommend, you know, using blue tack or getting a conversion peg, so that way it's not taking the whole neck out every single time. However, the LSSJ Goku hair does fit on here. Granted, this is a smaller neck peg, so it's not going to sit on there perfectly and still, but it does look pretty good once you do. And the skin tones are obviously a little bit different, and it might, you know, shake a little bit like that, but if you want to just get some quick photos, it works. Now, here is where I'm going to introduce AFFMCustoms again. He made these Gohan to 2.0 neck pegs a while ago. And this was around the time that Kong Studio started introducing their stuff, which was the, you know, Super Saiyan 3 bodies. And these are, of course, a little bit more taller, and the colors are brighter and whatnot, right? So he made these conversion pegs, and he made a whole lot of them. The Gohan to 2.0, Gohan to Trunks, Gohan to Kong, SSJ3s, etc. There was a lot. And surprisingly enough, not only do these pegs work for the new LSSJ Goku, they also work for the base Demoniacal Fit Goku. Now, I'm not going to be bringing out a whole bunch of different heads and whatnot. I am just going to show this one peg just so you can get the general idea, because he will be releasing more of these pegs. So if you are interested in them, you know, feel free to go buy one. I think it's like $5 for a pack of 6, and you can choose whichever peg you want and kind of combine it that way. It's a cool set. So let me take this out and then I'll show you what I mean. So as you can see, we got it on there, no problems. I would recommend using some pliers. Don't use your teeth, it might mess them up. You don't want a whole bunch of bite marks, but these do hold up well. He has stress tested them before, so, you know, give it a little oomph. But let's try our first head on here. So this is for 2.0 heads. And granted, 2.0 heads are made for 2.0 bodies, which have thinner necks. So not all of these heads are gonna, you know, fit right. So let's just see. And just so you can see that it's on the peg. You know, it does look weird because the neck is a little bit lanky, but this is just an example so you get an idea. Obviously, if you want it to sit down a little bit more, you know, you might have to take that risk of messing with the width of the neck and stuff like that. but it does sit there, which is really, really nice. I'm gonna grab another one. Let's see, I'll grab the one that was actually on the Kong Studios body, and we're gonna kind of look at these together because I actually didn't try this one before. So here is the Demoniacal Fit UI sign here, I believe. I have like a couple of these, so I might be confusing them for the official or the Demoniacal Fit, but they're roughly the same. And as you can see, again, it sits on there, and this one actually sits a little bit more flush on the neck. Doesn't look super lanky, and it just works. I mean, I would recommend it. I'm not trying to like over promote, but I highly recommend it if you bought this Demoniacal Fit body for kit bashes with all of your different 2.0 heads, etc. Go for it. There's also conversion pegs that work for 3.0 stuff. So if you want to put Gohan's head on here, I mean, you can. Of course, you can change the, let me see if I can get that. You can change the internal, you know, neck peg piece in there with Gohan's if you want to do that to save money and stuff like that. There's solutions. There's always different solutions to work with this stuff. So you don't have to feel like you have to buy conversion pegs, but they are an option if you want to save time, just be able to have the peg available to you. And we'll do about 2 more. And here is the AFFMCustoms hair on the DF body. This one also is sitting a little bit more flush on there. Again, looks really, really nice. And again, I have to keep saying it, like it just works. Something about having the peg just works for me.
All right, so finally, here is one of burstzgyt's, formerly Kong Studios, kind of windy hair sculpt, I guess you could call it. It's one of a pack of 4 with Rose, UI sign, and Super Saiyan God. So pretty old pack, but it does fit on here. You'll notice that it doesn't fit all the way on there just because, again, none of these are really meant for these newer necks. But yeah, it looks okay from the front, obviously. But yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into our conclusion.
All right, so to close this out, I mean, I gotta say, I mean, it's a worth it figure. You know, I believe it's still up on 5K Toys. It might be up on OmniMay as well. AliExpress shops should still have it. It's definitely a great figure. I mean, it poses well. There's only about 2 issues really that I've been dealing with, and you've seen it on video, which is that wrist and the wristband coming off very easily, as well as the knee getting stuck when you articulate. So, you know, if I put that back, it's gonna get stuck. But it's easy to fix. For a third-party company to still be able to perform and put out this kind of quality product, gotta give them kudos, right? It works. The face plates and stuff look pretty good. You know, the hair, it's judgmental. Everybody's got different views on it. Not for me personally. I still like just kind of the regular, smooth, flat kind of Base Goku hair personally. But yeah, I mean, it works. And I would love to see Demoniacal Fit talk about their future Gohan. I mean, if it's this good for Base Goku, then I'm assuming that the future Gohan could also be good. But they have not said like a single word since basically like they announced it. There's been no new renders, there's been no teases, there's been no prototypes, nothing. So really hard to say like what the progress of that is. They've not even said it's confirmed still to be coming this year, as far as I can see whenever I look for information. Yeah, it's been rough, right? This has been on pre-order for a long time. And listen, personally, I am okay waiting for a good product. That's why when I order these third-party things, and I'm well aware what I'm buying, I'm okay if you delay it. I just want it to be good. But you need to communicate that. And that is this company's biggest problem. And I know that kind of takes away a little bit from what I'm reviewing here, but at the end of the day, this is one of those things where people are like either potentially wanting to cancel orders because they don't know if it's going to come out. Did they waste their money? Did they get scammed? They don't know. Demoniacal Fit doesn't put themselves in a position where they answer those questions. It just is totally radio silent. That's both on, US social sites, as well as Japanese, Asian, Chinese websites that are all social media, asking the same things. Where's Broly? When's the update for this? Are you still making this? Are you just, putting out renders, whatever? We're all asking the same questions. We're all consumers for the same company. and we're not getting answers. That has to change, but it won't, because they've gone a whole year still doing the same thing, even after getting, you know, I don't want to say tossed to the side, but getting pretty much canceled by Toy Arena. They don't work together anymore because, you know, that's damaging to businesses when you don't communicate products and estimates and whatnot. You know, you're telling them, oh, yeah, in the middle of the year, by like June, we'll have it ready. You don't even show them a render. You don't even show them an actual prototype. You just continue to go radio silent. That's not good. So while it is a good figure, it is one of those things where I will say in the future, wait till it comes out. Don't pre-order these. It just, you never know how long it will take for something to actually come out from them. And while, you know, for example, they delivered on the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 Vegito that came out a little earlier this year. That was on pre-order for well over like a year. And it barely came out this year. So it's like, who wants to wait for that, you know, that long? And I get it. Official companies do it too, but at least you're seeing new models and stuff like that monthly or every other month or every couple of months or something. You're getting information. That's just not prominent here. But yeah, compared to Kong, they did it a little bit better, a little bit more accurate. Yeah, it works. And I'm happy to, you know that it works in tandem a little bit with the LSSJ Goku that just came out. A lot of people probably would want to be trying that out. And again, I got to plug the homie, AFFMCustoms. Look him up. Check out his eBay. I believe he's going to be dropping these conversion pegs Saturday. So line up. These things work. And the fact that he has pegs that he's already designed that work for 2 new figures, great. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to go on a whole tangent anymore, but yeah, I like the figure, and I think a lot of people do, and would call it one of Demoniacal Fit's, you know, best products so far in terms of the quality. I mean, it's there. It is a little tight, but it is there. And I gotta, again, give the kudos for it still being somewhat original. You know, it's not just a carbon copy of Gohan with, you know, differences that they took from like Goku. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to end it here. This either will be going up the same day as the Obito review or the next day, which will be Saturday. So whenever you're seeing this, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.